Right then, what have we got here, Tony? Just going to delete these, take you through it. Matthew, it SHIB does. Okay, so there we are. SHIB's doing the 4 hour. Just going to show you what it's like in the daily. There we go. Coming to the end of it. Seems to be coming to the end of a big old declining phase. Nice. Is that a big W pattern waiting to happen? So there's a couple of ways of looking at this. Is that a big W pattern going along there? So we're also seeing something else as well developing. So there is a good place for it to go from, right there. And just cutting across. There you go. That's a neckline. Want to beef that up a bit just to make it a bit more visible. Get a solid line on for you. There you go. So that's a neckline. It's also possibly turning into something else, is it? Let's have a look there. Just a channel really, more than a triangle, so that's okay. Having a little look there. So there's the neckline, and how will the W, so there you go. The W pattern again. It's double, quadruple bottoming. Come down there, test that trend line along here. It's turning out quite nicely. You know, similar shape to what's happening in the rest of the market, equilateral, looking to break up. This might break up to the upside. We want to just examine the whole Fibonacci's on this one. So we can have a little look, take it from the top, if you can. Take it from the top down to the bottom and see what's going on. From these, you can make inferred decisions about price action, technical targets for your prices as they move up and down. Now there you go. Now there's something pretty reasonable, isn't there? That is, what's that you got there? The 382 just rolling across through there. So that's a nice place to go and reach for. See how that 382, zoom in. Yeah, cuts across there. And there's that little gap, note the little gap, note the little gap there, and a little gap about the equivalent size. See how they're about the same size as little gaps of the main bodies, that is. Now then, probably want a little target. Will it come up to there? I strongly suspect it might just come up onto this place up here. Still room for manoeuvre to go up there. So, first bit of target will be on here. That level, just probably nicely, gently place that along there. And just want to buy with the dotted line. So there is your first price on the SHIB. 3093 for the long, okay? 3093 for the long, maybe even higher. So it's going to pop a little box in there just to show where there are other possibilities of retaining some price. So we're going to go along. Okay. Anywhere between there and there is a place to take some profit. Okay, I know it's a long, big old 2915 to 3552. So from the current price, that is probably, well, let's see. That's a big old underestimate, isn't it? That's a bit too much to think about. Just pop it up in there, just above there. Okay, it just tends to rise up to the previous highs. So there's a block of reasonably level main bodies of the candles there, and same there. Let's just take some of these things away, and right now we're going to get rid of that. Pop down, re-establish that on there on the fibs. Probably looking there just under. Let's pop that one in. Fair dues. Now pop that on there on the 2x. There you go. There's your price target round about there. 3128. Oh, it moves quick, doesn't it? 3139. So you get the idea. Just around, probably put its price target up there. It's difficult putting it any higher. If this is your price, if there's a technicals with same pop it here, because as you can see, it sometimes just is a little bit out. Yeah, sometimes that little margin makes all the difference of taking a profit or not. Going down into the hourly, and there was a possibility over this very short time frame, so you want to see how long that might take. That W there. You know, so that's a good old week, isn't it? Maybe 10 days. So 6 bars, right? 6 bars, say there. Okay, that's a 6 bar job at least waiting. So you might want to wait a week to get up there if it does reach up to that net line and confirm a double W pattern and reach up to that net line. But it's still got to break through some kind of resistance in this area. So it might just slow down and spill out underneath that area, which is why that's looking like a good technical target along there. It just sort of adds to the thing, but it's got to get through that technical, that little bit of resistance in there, right? What else you got? I don't know if SHIB Army still alive. Is SHIB Army still alive? Right. Going into the hourly for you, something over that maybe the coming days. And again, you see that pattern there and there? It's forming up a bit of a pattern, isn't it? But you've got something else in here, an upside down head and shoulders. Wow. An upside down head and shoulders. That's a bullish pattern. So bang there. Those two lows there, setting up a trend line for you. An additional trend line which might be tested and be broken through, or it might be not be. I wouldn't be surprised if it does come through a little bit. So what we're going to look at again, turn to the fibs, look up from that previous high, low to high movement in there, setting that up. Let's see how advanced it's going to come down, how it's going to advance lower. Where's the limits there? So it has touched that. That's fantastic. Yeah, you got that there, and that little blue line there. That's wonderful. So it comes down. It might even come down one more time again, a double touch, just to retest the area. So what are we looking at? Potentially, I'm wondering if in this time frame there's a head and shoulders movement, right? I'm wondering if it's a head and shoulders. So an inverted head and shoulders. Can't really see it. Head, yeah, shoulder there. Is it up, right way up one? Head, sorry, shoulder, head, shoulder, and that just comes down again, doesn't it? It comes down to that sort of, came down to the neckline, and then, so you got the neckline across, all right, so bang across the neckline broadly, and then that's just a rough one. And then, of course, you have that there, you see on there, across there, and that would have been a potential way to go. And then off there, once it reaches that point, that little low, generally speaking, on this, it does have a little launch up. Now, going back into that 1 hour again, has it got the absolute reverse? Is there an inverse head and shoulders developing? That's a good sign. That's something you could trade, something to look for the up on this for a much shorter term. So you could just get that momentum going, right? Goodness, where's it gone? Now then, broadly speaking, head, quite often they have horns, yeah, so it might still come down and retest that. That's what I'm saying about that retest. Pop up and away you go. Looks like Batman upside down hanging from his roof, doesn't he? Roosting away. So, you know, once if it does come down to there, pardon me, probably one there for you. yeah, cut across there, and then another neckline, maybe coming across there. So different places. If you want to average in, or I don't know if you do it all at once or what. Average in, average out. All these lines across potential places to have a bit of a flutter. Right, so what's that target there? 2410, 2425, 2450, 2475, thereabouts. Quite often, yeah, you can retrace back down again. You can see there, you've got that overall pattern. Don't expect it just to burst out just for you. It might do. It might do. Go back to the 4 hour. Yeah. Go back to that 4 hour. So what's your upside there from current price? Don't bear in mind it might come lower. It's not a lot, 3.56. But over the year, imagine you did 3.56 over the year. In the year's time, you got another 100 quid. So, 3 times 365. That's a lot of money, isn't it? All adds up over time. Where does that sit within the central pattern? Let me see. Yeah, you got that big pattern here. Yeah, big old pattern, and it's just at the midpoint. It's come down. It's just sort of accumulating along the bottom there. What else you got? Yeah, expected to come up, touch that, test that in the over the coming days. All right, so the price might just come up a little bit more. Test that over the coming days. Price might come up 5%. It can go up, can go down. It's putting, of course, a bullish case. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised to see that hump over a little bit more, test there, or maybe even test that support there. If it does come test that support there, definitely do think about putting something on. Give it some due consideration. Look at your charts, and you've got a much better upside there because that will launch. So yeah, pops out, maybe something there. Anything to sort of. It's a bit of a 5% already, and of course that quickly goes up, mate. You're in your tens there, somewhere around here, and then if you get it launch over, it might just sort of start trying to play itself up. So overall, in the trend, the big trend, you're kind of looking at something which does want to eventually break out of here. Right, it's right for breaking out. It's trying to make its way up, right? There we go, one more time. Gosh. Yeah, so it probably does want to just come up about 2/3 of the way along that little pattern in there, hover up, and of course, you want to be looking at that. So, what's that capitulation in there? Pop that, because it's working its way up at the moment. See how, like the 236 red line there, how it's just sort of hovering along there, establishing some kind of fantastic area of support, area of liquidity. That's the bringing buy sell the liquidity. So people are going to start buying in at this point. Don't be surprised if it breaks through that pattern and comes up. A little box on there just for that liquidity zone for your bones. Highly likely that's looking strong, isn't it? You've got loads of touches. The more touches there are, the better off you are. And of course, got that red line in there. So that might just come up, consolidate across the way. If it does come down there, expect a nice sort of boom. You see that there, and there. See how it's always come up upon touching? Yeah, so if it did come down to this line here, level at 2305, do expect a nice little pumpy. That's 6% in no time at all. Just a couple of days. Going to want to see how it might just roll up there. you know, so it sort of works its way up, doesn't it? Maybe sometimes comes back down, works its way up. If it does come up to that point there, retest. If the test is validated, that means you've got a breakout. See how it's quite easily 2/3 of the way along. That might well break out. Might be looking at that. See that yellow line just might hover around there. If it does, expect that. Maybe bounce off there. Maybe come up, burst through, bounce off fibs line. Might not, slowly working its way up. Maybe it might even come back down. And if it does come up, get a nice hard bounce with look for the volume levels. If there's a nice big volume level on your indicators, which you do have on your phone, the base of the chart there, those the histogram at the base of the chart, if they're looking really big, just that's breaking out. And if that's breaking out, it's more with enough energy. You do want to see what's going on. So let's have a look there. After the breakout, there we go. So you've got some initial price targets in there, haven't you? Based on the previous fibs on there, so the previous lines, you might just have some nice targets to go up, work your way up there. With those targets, there might be a conjunction there. See a previous high. That might be a nice one if it does break out. 383, something just under there. 3820 might be a good long for you. Yeah. And that, if that, in the overall grand scheme of things, look there, those previous highs, and there is that sort of level is a target to aim for. See how it plays out. That's a sort of target to aim for, because it certainly does fit in the narrative with those previous highs. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's take that off. Yeah. See along there, that big yellow line. That's where the previous highs are. And that might just work, and it might break out or be rejected at that point and just come back down. That's not a problem. All right, Bones. All right, Matthew. Percentages on that. Potential percentages. You're looking at what's the current price. Put in now as time is. Potentially, fuck me sideways. Potentially in the big scheme of things, that is a 40% right there. Okay, 40%. So you've got 100 quid on there. You put 100 quid on there. Presumably you've taken the 100 quid out and gone for the low.